Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. This is the series in which I talk about politics and how I am better than everybody else, and add to that list Symone Sanders. So, okay, this is going to be a heavy hitter. This is going to make you mad. So I'm just giving you that quick trigger warning. This is gonna fucking make you mad. It made me mad, and I was like, I'm in the middle of looking for things to talk about in videos, and then I see this, and I'm like, my first reaction is, no. Right? My first reaction when I see something that's like, it makes perfect sense, but it's so on point that it has to be satire, but deep inside that it's not. And again, the first reaction is just, no. No. So Symone Sanders is a top campaign surrogate. I think she's chief of the campaign or co-chair or something like that of the Joe Biden campaign. And she was big. I'm just going to click on this. She was big into the whole Christine Ballsy Ford thing with the Kavanaugh confirmation back in 2018. Back in 2018, that was a wild time. I do remember when Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed. I was in D.C. at the time, and I was part of the protest. I got some good footage. I thought that people were going to break into the Supreme Court, but then the cops stopped them, and everyone was a bunch of pussies, unfortunately. But I was there for that protest, and that was pretty awesome. But the Kavanaugh situation was like a huge spotlight on the whole Me Too thing, especially after, it was during the Trump era, and you had Me Too and the Women's March and all that kind of stuff coalescing, and then the Kavanaugh thing was just like a big, wake-up call for a lot of people, and Symone Sanders was on that shit. She was fucking fired up, and it turns out she recently deleted all of her tweets in regards to this situation in light of the recent Joe Biden allegations of rape. So, this is one of those things where it's just, oops, right? Oops. You know what I mean? Oh, my bad. But there's the CNN article, right? And the CNN article embeds tweets. And as you can see, look at this tweet. Anita Hill, because she is a black woman, did not have the luxury of vulnerability before the all-white Senate Judiciary Committee in 1991. See, now this is an interesting tweet that compares Anita Hill in the Clarence Thomas confirmation in 1991 to Christine Ballsy Ford in Kavanaugh in 2018. But, here's a quick question. So let me go check out this tweet from our content. Oh, wait, oops. So, we have these embeds that proves that Symone Sanders was tweeting about this. And as you can see, there's a bunch more. My thoughts exactly, Kate. This is all about the senators. All about the senators. Interesting. What else does she have to say? Well, Brett Kavanaugh looks so unhinged, unprepared. This is not a good showing at all. That was true. You got a beer? I drank some beer. Did you drink beer? That's when we all learned that Amy Klobuchar's father was an alcoholic for the first time, at least the first time I heard about that, which, out of the 9 trillion times that she told that story throughout her presidential campaign. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so she was tweeting all about, and this tweet here, this is all about the senators, right? Well, if we look at the Anita Hill timeline, referencing Anita Hill, who was one of the chief senators involved in making sure Anita Hill did not have any corroborating witnesses? Other people that stepped up against Clarence Thomas were not allowed to go and have a committee and do a hearing, just like with the Christine Blasey Ford situation where there are other people and they just didn't get allowed to have a hearing, so they just pin it on one person and then attack their credibility, right? But who was the Senate chairman of the Judiciary Committee in 1991? All right, Joe ass motherfucking Biden. So let's just do a full recap here. Symone Sanders, right? During the 2018 Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Ballsy Ford scenario, fiasco even, was, I'm a feminist. Oh, look at me. Oh, they're hurting women. And then she takes a job working for Joe Biden. And now the Joe Biden looks to be in the same position that Kavanaugh is, the same position that Thomas was in. It's bizarre that Joe Biden pushed so hard to make sure no other, victims of Clarence Thomas could go in 1991, right? That's, it's almost like they're all in the same club. And it looks like Symone Sanders is caught. So what she did was she decided, well, I can't get called out on my hypocrisy if I delete my tweets, right? Well, sorry, Symone, but guess what? You're a scumbag. You're exposed as a scumbag. We all know you're a scumbag. This is the same person who literally went on either CNN or MSNBC, I forget, and told everyone, go vote on the primary. The CDC said not to gather in groups more than 10 people, but go vote, man. Turns out there's Florida polls that poll workers had COVID-19 during the polling. So during the primary, where they had thousands of people go into the polling places, oops, some of the poll workers had COVID-19, and that's a giant butterfly effect. Turns out the first death in Illinois, it was around the same time as the primary, and then the governor started taking it seriously, but oops, we just potentially infected thousands of people. So my bad, and Symone Sanders was leading the charge to defy CDC guidelines. These people are scumbags, right? They are not good. The Democratic Party is a party of rapists. There is a reason why Bill Clinton was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. There are these connections that you think about. Hillary Clinton, Harvey Weinstein. You got to think about this. The Democratic Party is a party. It is a rape cult. And I say this with no hint of sarcasm or satire. The Democratic Party is a rape cult. It just so happens the Republican Party is a racist rape cult. Overt racist rape cult, right? So the Democratic Party, or should I say the Democrat Party, is of course a racist rape cult, but they just pretend. It's like, oh yeah, Symone Sanders, she's black, so I mean, we're not actually racist. It's just, oh god, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, yo. Fuck these people. Like, seriously. It's so offensive. It's so ridiculous, right? It's so absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's so in your face. It's so in your face. It's just right in your face. And yet, is MSNBC going to do anything about it? Is CNN going to do anything about it? We're going to probably have the first TV outlet talking about this be Fox News. And when that happens, the liberals are going to start calling it, Russian conspiracy. They're already doing that. But when Fox picks this up, Russian conspiracy theory, Trump's making it up, Vladimir Putin, It's depressing. It is depressing. These people are monsters. It is, again, I've said this before, these people are psychopaths. They don't care about you. They don't care about anybody. All they care about's the fucking money, because they are fucking psychopaths. Oh, there's a pandemic going on? Go vote. Go vote for my guy. Go vote for my guy. Oh, the pandemic is killing the people that voted? That's, whatever. And keep in mind, all of this to stop Bernie Sanders, to stop you and your family from having health care, to stop your kids from being able to go to college without having crippling debt until their 40s or 50s. All this to stop climate change action. Not to stop climate change, of course, but to stop climate change action. All this to ensure that they just get a few more years of fucking sick paychecks, even though they've already got more than enough money to live the rest of their lives in luxury, to pass down to their kids, to pass down to their kids' kids, to their kids' kids' kids, to live the rest of their lives in luxury. But they just want a few more years of the good times. Well, guess what? The good times are going to end eventually. Bernie Sanders was the compromise. Bitch, we told you to fuck around and find out. It looks like they're fucking around. Now it's just time to see and wait. Lie and wait until this pandemic is over. And then they will find out. I'm just saying. Fuck these people. And fuck you. Also, just kidding. Subscribe to my channel. Also, give me money on Patreon. Fucker.